When I took 8th grade shop class, we were only taught one word for finishing. The teacher would reluctantly put down his magazine, and he'd look over his glasses at whatever hunk of crap you were trying to pass off as a project, and he'd say, "Good enough, go varnish it." Then you'd head to the varnishing room, you'd slap on your thick coat of sticky varnish, and after your varnish dried, you'd take your varnish project home to mother. What the heck is varnish? Is it a specific type of finish or a generic term that's overused, like Scotch tape? Well, believe it or not, this is a subject that can cause some argument. Try it sometime at your local woodworking guild. You'll have some fun. Ask folks if they prefer varnish or lacquer. You're going to get all sorts of debate about the differences in application and drying time and the durability of varnish versus lacquer. Someone will say they use polyurethane, and he'll get mocked because, no, varnish looks better or lacquer looks better. But the thing is, it's all varnish. Varnish isn't a product. It's a term that refers to covering something with a clear protective coating. It's an ancient word that literally means odorous resin. In modern times, a varnish has come to refer to a resinous finish that's built up on top of a surface. Lacquer, shellac, polyurethane, they're all varnishes. The Egyptians mixed pine sap and turpentine, and that was varnish too. Of course, this argument will get you thrown out of your Woodworkers Guild, and a handful of you are already typing angry comments below. So let's dispense with the semantics and put a finer point on the issue with a quick rundown of the types of varnish you're most likely to use in your woodworking shop. Shellac is bug poop. More specifically, it's the secretion of lac insects, which is a whole class of bugs that leave piles of nasty droppings on trees that people go behind and harvest and make flakes out of so you can dissolve them in alcohol and apply them to wood. It's not a terribly durable or water-resistant finish. It's certainly not alcohol-resistant, so it's not a good finish for tabletops. But it's easy to apply. It dries quickly, and it can give a project a nice traditional look. It's also easy to repair because new shellac dissolves old shellac, which is another reason why it makes a great finish. Shellac is also sometimes chemically de-waxed, so it can be applied beneath another type of finish as a primer or a sanding sealer. Lacquers are quick-drying, solvent-based varnishes. Interestingly, like the word varnish, the term lacquer is also often generically applied to pretty much all spray finishes. So there isn't just one type of lacquer. There are many with different types of polymers or resins dissolved in a mix of solvents that's referred to as lacquer thinner. Lacquers are often sprayed on, though you can brush them on, and they dry quickly. So if you're comfortable with spray finishing and you have the right equipment, you may find them really easy to apply. You can build up many thin layers for a durable finish that looks really good. But lacquers are flammable, and a proper respirator is a must because they contain high levels of VOCs, which can destroy your liver and your brain if you inhale too much of it. And so many areas are cracking down on their sale and use. I believe in time, we may not even be able to buy lacquers in regular stores anymore. The finishing industry has been developing acrylic and water-based lacquers for that reason, but if it's not dissolved by lacquer thinner, can you really call it a lacquer? At the risk of oversimplifying, which I suppose I've been doing throughout this video, polyurethane is plastic in an oil or water-based solvent. Just as with any plastic, there are different grades and different qualities. That's why some poly-based finishes are expensive, like Armor Seal, while others are cheap, like Minwax. Water-based polys dry quicker, but they're generally less durable and they tend to look more plasticky because they sit on the surface of the wood more than the oil-based poly. Oil-based polys can be rock hard once they're fully cured, and unlike shellac or lacquer, it cannot be redissolved with the solvent once it's dry. This means that one coat of poly will not meld with the coat beneath it. You have to scuff each coat with sandpaper to achieve a mechanical bond. We can talk all day about the pros and cons of polyurethane, but the bottom line is it's very durable, but finicky to apply and cheaper polys can look terrible. Spar or marine varnish was developed for the shipbuilding industry, thus the name spar and marine. They needed something that was flexible and water resistant so that it could move with the ship and get wet. Nowadays, the name is applied to many finishes that are intended for outdoor use and provide a high level of protection from water and often UV rays. There are, of course, other types of finishes that can be considered varnishes, but these are the most common in modern woodworking shops. In our next video, we'll discuss oils like BLO, tung oil, and Danish oils, some of which are technically varnishes, which further illustrates how confusing the whole finishing industry has become. Well, I hope these videos clear some of that up for you. See you next time. It's just a couple of cuts. Yours will be fine, right? They would be if you had your IsoTunes Bluetooth earbuds in, because you'd already have your EPA certified hearing protection on while you're listening to your favorite music and podcasts. And you'd be supporting a small family business at the same time. Please use the link below this video to learn more and to show them that you support what we do as well. Wait, don't go yet. If you're new here, please subscribe and remember to ring the bell. I would really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up, or better yet, leave us a comment. I always read them. And be sure to check out the latest issue of Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. It's always packed with tips, tricks, and tutorials designed to make you a better woodworker.